Welcome. Remember to subscribe. So, today I want to talk about something. I'm not going even to follow a script, but today I want to talk about the power of the Jezebel spirit that is actually controlling many nations. But I want to talk about our nation of Kenya. Yeah. And I'll use some very vivid and simple examples. We were discussing with a person, and we found out that if you look today or in the past years, there's been less marriages occurring in Kenya. And also, there's been a lot of family breakups. Understand this, that any form of divorce that occurs, there's a spirit behind it. I want to tell you, although some people do not like this topic, they seem to look at this topic like the stories are jabba. But these are very important topics. Understand that the people, the leaders you vote in, determine the type of spirits that will operate in your territory. The leaders act as the keys that open doors into the spiritual world for spirits to rule in your country. So, when you see that in our nation, there's a lot of breakups, there's a lot of single parents households, a lot of couples are living together but they cannot understand each other, and also there are a lot of divorcees. What occurs is that there's a Jezebel spirit going around, and for this Jezebel spirit to operate, as you've read your Bible, what happens is the leaders have to be hibernating or have to act as the altars for these spirits to operate, right? And when you see at the leadership in our country, they operate in a Jezebel format because they have their prophets who condone their acts of corruption and omission. If you look at our president, he does his family has some issues, but my point is that what happens is these leaders who we have elected, majority of them are the people who create a conducive ground for these spirits to operate. And how do they create this conducive ground? Understand that for any spirit to operate, it needs a conducive ground where it can stay. Yeah? For that place or that territory, for those spirits to operate, they need a ground to stay. And this ground, they can find it either through blood, yeah, through committing wrongdoing, yeah. And what has happened is that when we elected leaders that made the economy to become miserable and to fail, and when we elected leaders who do not care about people or their population, if they are employed or not, to support their families, what happened is that we opened a door that brought and encouraged the Jezebel spirits to operate, because now you find majority of youth are unemployed, so they cannot support families, and if they cannot support families, they cannot marry, and if they cannot marry, they cannot even stay in any form of relationship because they are not able to fulfill their natural contract which God ordained, of which is to support the family. So what you find is that people are in short term, come we stay, marriages of convenience. Yeah. Those who are married with stable businesses, right now they cannot support their businesses. Their businesses are falling down. And as their businesses are falling down, what is happening is that their families are also breaking down. They cannot pay the fees for the children, they cannot support their wives. So there's a lot of quarreling in families. Yeah. And apart from the Jezebel spirit, a lot of other spirits are being opened up to enter people. For example, the spirits of depression and the spirits of people going mad. Why? Because what they perceived as a normal life is out of their grasp or out of their hand. So what I'm trying to say is that there's a strong Jezebel presence operating in Kenya, especially in our leaders, and this spirit is what is affecting majority of families and the majority of youth. They cannot marry. The same with this Jezebel spirit. It has altered the family state. You find even in some families, it's the women who are being forced to operate. What I'm trying to tell you through this video is that this spirit of Jezebel that is operating, I want you to understand where it arises from and where it comes from. And I want to encourage you, if you are a Christian, by a Christian, you understand that we live by faith. Yeah, today it is hard, but tomorrow will be okay. Understand that there is a strong presence of a Jezebel spirit operating here in our country, and it's what is causing a lot of miserable lives to occur in many families. I want you to persevere and to continue praying every day. And all in all, that's why I encourage people. If you want to go and vote, you should know what you are voting for, because you can vote for life through a leader who supports family, because without a family there is no nation. Or you can vote for death through the same ballot box. So be careful who you vote into. These leaders that you are voting into can open gates of hell that you have never seen. They can cause wars, they can cause fires, they can cause earthquakes. You'll be hearing of earthquakes in Kenya and tremors, because we have sinned against nature, against the normal principles of the working world. Yeah, just because of electing leaders who were not able to support individuals who or the strong family background. So understand that there is a principle that this world operates in. And when you go against this principle by electing leaders who have tainted backgrounds, what happens is that the earth will start fighting us. So all in all, I want to close this message by telling you that majority of these divorces, you should understand, they are caused by a spirit called the Jezebel spirit. And for more information, go and read your Bible. Yeah, it's found in the book of Kings, Kings chapter 18, First Kings chapter 18. Yeah, that's where you'll find this message about the Jezebel spirit and how it operates. Yeah, the same way Jezebel was coverting and actually killed Naboth and took his vineyard. Yeah, remember, this is a spirit of covetousness. It does not respect any nature or any background. That's why Jezebel was able to kill Ahab, to kill Naboth without even feeling anything and taking over his land. The same way we'll find our leaders. Yeah, they are after pillaging, corruption, and stealing of public properties and lands. They do not respect any order, even from the elder or the former generation, who set laws that what should happen is that we should respect widows and children who have no parents, but they do not respect, they do what they want. That's how the Jezebel spirit operates, and it's a spirit that knows how to hide behind people and use people to carry out their agendas. Yeah, and that's why many people are suffering. Many leaders are suffering today because they are used to hide the real people behind their agendas. And as you can see, majority of them are fallen. For example, the cabinet secretaries lost their jobs because of that. So understand that, vote for the right people wherever you are. If this message has helped you, encourage another person, talk to them, talk to the elder generation of what is occurring and what has caused it. Because when you don't have an economy, what happens is that there's no money in people's pocket. And as you know, the modern society, we are not in the barter trade system of long ago. At least in that system, you will have survived. But in this system, you need money to operate, and without money, you cannot take your children to school. Yeah, you cannot buy food for your family, and this is what is bringing up very huge breakups in family. So these spirits are very strong, and they come through the leaders we elect to form policies, and they have failed in policy and regulation formation. Now they have gone for the public coffers. Yeah, and remember, nothing is infinite. Resources are finite, so these public coffers are going to collapse. What next will they go to? Yeah. So I want to finish my message there and encourage a person outside there. Keep hope alive and continue to pray for your marriage, pray for your couples, and God will bless you and open a way for you. Thank you.